Today on LTC News, a new owner of the Lowell Spinners, a peek at the upcoming Food and Wine Festival, insight into the political situation in Cambodia, and more. Stay tuned. Hello, and welcome to the first episode of LTC News. My name is Al Gentili, and I will be your weekly anchor. We will air a new episode of LTCN every Thursday and air it throughout the week on LTC channels 8 and 99. And now for our lead story. Shayna Vigliotta reports on the 100th anniversary of the National Park Service. The ceremony was held at City Hall on August 25th.
Hi, my name is Shayna Vigliotta. We're here at City Hall honoring the National Park Service 100th birthday. Lowell is one of the 413 official units that make up the system in which all national parks fall. We had spoken to the superintendent of the Lowell National Historical Park, Celise Bernardo, to dive deeper into the history of the agency.
So 100 years ago, the agency was established, but actually before the agency was established, the country had started setting aside very special places and calling them national parks. Yellowstone National Park, Yosemite National Park were some of the parks that were set aside because of their magnificent beauty. And by 1906, the Antiquities Act was established because they also realized there were really important historical, cultural sites, Indian, Native American ruin sites that needed to be preserved. But after they had accumulated all of these different places, they started to realize that they needed one agency that could look over and help to preserve and protect those natural and cultural wonders of our country.
The Lowell National Historical Park is comprised of different sites that highlight the city's history of the textile manufacturing industry in comparison to other national parks. And despite the growing amount of constructional changes, Lowell continues to honor and preserve the city's culture.
Lowell is a site that is very important, whereas a lot of the other sites, natural resources and residents and so forth. So the people who built Lowell represent immigration to America and the Industrial Revolution, and this is very important for America, particularly for future generations.
Lowell kicked off the centennial with a flag-raising ceremony and speeches from town officials and rangers at City Hall. All speakers had expressed their excitement for the big changes that are soon coming.
As of the projects that are underway now, 98% will be rehabilitated.
And Congresswoman Nikki Tsongas spoke about the upcoming projects.
Delicate ecosystems, and notable landmarks. We are keeping pieces of our shared national history alive.
The Thorndike Mill development in the Hamilton Canal District are some of the works for the future of the park.
We will get the land exchange done.
The events held were aimed towards the national goal of connecting and creating the next generation of visitors, supporters, and advocates.
The Lowell National Historical Park has played an integral role in the Lowell community by providing education services, promoting interest in Lowell's history and nature, and fostering relationships with the Lowell community.
The Lowell National Historical Park aims not only to preserve the structures of the buildings, but to keep the city's historical aspects as well.
They wanted to recognize the cultural traditions that were preserved in the neighborhoods of those people who worked in the textile mills.
Performances, food, tours, and activities were held all week to honor the milestone for the National Park Service. My name is Shayna Vigliotta. Stay tuned to LTC News.
Thanks for the report, Shayna. The park is one of Lowell's truly valuable recreational resources. And now, we turn our attention to the Lowell Spinners with Sun editor Jim Campanini in this week's Sunspot.
I'm here with David Heller, the new owner of the Lowell Spinners. And David's been going almost coast to coast for the last couple of months. He owns 5 minor league franchises, but now he's down to 4, and he says he's going to be anchored right here at the East Coast, and one of the big reasons is because of Lowell. So
That's exactly right.
What
Nice to
really,
see you.
Thank you. And what made you so keen on buying the team from Drew Weber? And obviously you liked what you saw.
Lowell has a fabulous, passionate fan base. You have people who are so into the game and who care so much about baseball. It's much different than I've seen in other markets all over the country. Where, and here's how you tell. The other night we had a walk-off double for a win. Last night we had a walk-off pass ball for a win. The ballpark was still full. The crowd was still here at the ninth inning. A lot of parks, they'll go away. They'll come for 5, they'll come for 6, come for 7 innings, and they'll leave. Lowell, they stay to the end, and I love that. That's a committed, passionate fan base.
Perseverance for Lowell, the Mill City. Oh, talking about the Mill City.
The Mill City.
Okay. Now we've had some discussions
Yes.
earlier. We're going to let you in on a little secret here. Okay. Dave is very energetic. He's got a lot of ideas, and one of the things he does, all his ballparks. He takes the best. He builds a best practice list, and you've already got some ideas to kind of just re-energize the franchise, which is now going into its
this is our 20th
year. 20th year. So tell us about the Mill City concept.
So Jim, what we want to do is have an alternate name for the team. We're going to call them the Mill City Spinners. And we're going to have a Mill City logo and a Mill City uniform and a Mill City cap. And, it's not going to replace Lowell. We're still going to be the Lowell Spinners, but maybe one day a week or so we'll be known as the Mill City team. And I think that's nice to pay homage to the heritage of the city of Lowell and the whole region, really, the whole Merrimack Valley.
Dave has given me a preliminary look at some of the logos. I'll tell you, they're fantastic. They're really powerful, and they capture, I think, the true historic sense of the city and what we're all about. I mean, those mills now have changed from rooms to now there's entrepreneurs in there, venture capitalists, people living in the mills, enjoying the condos. So it's you'll have to read The Sun and take a look at it and tell me what you think about it. But David, tell me, how did you get this interest in minor league baseball? I mean, you now own 4 teams. You sold your Bakersfield franchise to stay anchored to the East Coast and stuff. But how did you originally get involved in minor league baseball? Is it passion for baseball?
I've always loved
family
baseball.
Fun?
I've always loved baseball ever since I was a little kid. I've always loved baseball. And I remember when I was 7 years old, I wanted so badly to be able to go to see a ball game. I was living in Connecticut at the time and wanted to go see the Yankees or see the Mets. And my dad said to me, "You want to go?" He says, "I'm happy to take you. Go out and earn the money for your ticket." Wow. And I went and I sold garden seeds door to door, put them on the basket of my old Schwinn 1-speed, and went door to door in Connecticut selling garden seeds to make enough money to be able to go see a game. And the first game my dad ever took me to, I saw Tom Seaver pitch a one-hitter, took a no-hitter into the ninth. I went to Queens. I went to Flushing.
Flushing, okay. See Thompson, because he ended up with the Red Sox.
He did, and the day he played, the first game he pitched for the Red Sox, by that time, I was 24 years old, and I'm working in Washington, D.C., and I packed up my old beat-up Honda Accord and drove all the way from D.C. up to Boston to be here that night at Fenway when Seaver pitched.
All right, now, so you grew up a Yankees fan?
No.
Oh, no?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Stop that.
Connecticut
That's
Yankees.
blasphemous.
Are you just saying that?
That's blasphemous.
All right, because now you own an affiliate of the Boston Red Sox.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So tell the truth. Have you always been a Red Sox fan?
I can't say that I've always been a Red Sox fan, but I was never a Yankees fan.
And you might own a Yankees franchise someday.
So I'll tell you something.
We got him on tape.
My first foray into baseball, I was partners with Don Mattingly and Cal Ripken. And we were going to bring a team to Donnie's hometown of Evansville, Indiana. And Don and I are the same age, and we would go to the Chamber of Commerce and so on and meet people. And Don would say, Dave and I were 7 years old. We each played baseball. I dreamt of being the first baseman for the Yankees, and Dave dreamt of owning them. And I would say I recognized the limitations of my abilities even then. But Mattingly, Mattingly asked me, who was your favorite player growing up? And I said, my favorite was Tom Seaver. And he goes, you wanted a Met? He said, you liked a Met? And I said, I was never really that into the Yankees, to be truthful.
Now, do you bat right or left?
I bat right.
Throw right?
I throw right.
Okay, so we got him on record for that.
Yes.
Good. Now, interesting thing about David, okay, he's not only a big baseball fan, but he's also a fan of politics. He's also one of the top political consultants to the Democratic Party. And David has 3 degrees. He graduated Brown University in Providence, and he has master's degrees from Oxford and also from Yale. So you know what? The guy's got some business experience. He's got some smarts here. So it's going to be interesting to see how he negotiates with city manager Kevin Murphy as we go along and the Spinners work on a new lease. But you know what?
I'll tell you, the nice thing about that is Kevin and I have the same goal in mind, which is how do we preserve baseball long-term right here in Lowell and right here in Little Asher Park.
Yeah.
And when you have the same goals, the negotiations are always easier.
Well, speaking of goals, I've already spoken to the city manager, and he is just so impressed by your desire to improve LaLasha Park, upgrade it, and bring a more fun family experience to everyone.
Yes.
And you said already that the welcoming mat, the Lowellians you've met and from other communities have been so great. Talk a little about that.
Oh, Jim, it's been amazing. I have, as you said, I've bought 6 minor league teams in my career, and I have never had the kind of warm, friendly welcome that I've gotten here in Lowell. And from Lawrence and Andover down to Burlington and Wilmington, over to Tewksbury and up to Nashua, people from all over the Merrimack Valley have just been so friendly and so welcoming, and it really energizes me, and it makes me that much more determined to make this place really sing.
What's the first question they ask you? When you meet someone new who comes in through the turnstiles, what do they ask you?
Is the team going to stay in Lowell?
Really?
That's the first question they ask.
Wait. There's no doubt about it.
No doubt about it. I say, I promise you it is.
Good. Now, some of the goals or some of the ideas you're thinking about here in Lowell that you've seen that you might like to incorporate into this ballpark that you've seen, because Davenport has been voted the best minor league baseball park in America.
Yes.
And if you see it, it has a lot of resemblance to LaLasha Park.
It does.
How do you talk about that?
It does. It's interesting. If you could look over there and imagine looking over that right field fence and there were no trees, you would have this spectacular view of the river and this gorgeous multi-arch bridge. And that's exactly the same view that we have in the Quad Cities. Why they have this tree line to block that view, I don't really understand that.
Because it was built as a riverfront ballpark or Riverview ballpark.
Yes, and it's not. It's just now it just looks like a ballpark in the middle of the woods.
So that would be one thing, to give that more open experience,
Yes.
right? I
You
mean,
want
sitting
people to
here-
see the river, sure.
Absolutely.
It's one of Lowell's biggest assets is the river. Why would you hide it? Right?
Good point.
If you're dating Miss America, right? You don't keep her in the living room. You bring her out. You take her out to restaurants. You want people to see her. We've got a gorgeous view here. We want people to see it.
I love that analogy. You know? What else? What else are you thinking about?
So what I want to do first and foremost here is I want to build group areas. There is no one space in the ballpark where you can bring a group of 40, 50, 70, 100 people and let them mix and mingle and hang out and get to know each other. Instead, you have to have them all seated together. And that's not really what minor league baseball should be about. It should be about people mixing and mingling and meeting each other and interacting and make it one big party.
So how do you do that? How do you accomplish that?
You do one of two things. You either start ripping out these bleachers right at the top, and you can see here, if we can walk over, Jim. You have half a dozen rows of bleachers behind the seats. You could either rip out the bleachers and just make a flat area, or a tiered area where you put hi-hat tables and chairs. and people can watch the game that way, or you simply expand. So Jim, if you look straight down that foul line back to home plate, you see this is actually one of the best sight lines in the entire park, right here. And I want to take this sight line and extend it right from right here all the way out to that foul pole.
Wow. So it'll be 2 decks. The lower deck would be like a
birthday room.
A birthday room.
A birthday room for birthday parties for kids. And we fill it with arcade games and video games, you know, Down the Clown and skee ball and things like that, and some Xbox games, and then some video games. I think it would be really fun for kids.
And the upper deck?
And the upper deck would be an open area with high top tables and chairs, where families and companies can go and have family reunions and company gatherings, and just a big group space that this park desperately needs.
Well, David, I want to thank you very much for being such a gracious host and giving us this tour. And I hope this is the start of a great relationship with the city of Lowell. And I hope you and your family just enjoy Lowell as much as I have as a resident of Lowell. Well, thank you very much.
Jim, thank you. We love Lowell, and we've enjoyed every minute of it so far, and we're looking forward to many, many years here. My goal, Jim, is I have 2 boys. They're 8 and 5 years old, and I hope one day to pass the spinners on to them and have them take the spinners even further than where we will have taken them.
Well, that's a great thought, great legacy.
Thanks, Jim. It's great to have the Lowell Sun as a collaborator with LTCN. The Sunspot will be a weekly segment covering everything from politics to current events. Stay tuned. Now we turn our attention to the City Council with a recap of the council meeting of August 23rd from LTC Director of Municipal Programming, Brian Dorrington.
Today I'll be giving you the rundown on what you need to know about what took place at the City Council meeting of August 23rd. The night started off with an Economic Development Subcommittee meeting. Representatives from Kronos and Anchorline Properties, who own Crosspoint, spoke about the investments and innovations going on at Crosspoint. Andrew Marr of Anchorline gave a presentation highlighting the campus-like atmosphere they've created. Those working within Crosspoint get to take advantage of an on-site gym, daycare facility, ping pong tables, a cafe with a mural of Jack Kerouac, and even a room equipped with multiple Xboxes. Sounds nice, right? All told, Anchorline has invested $75 million in improvements and upgrades. Andrew Marr from Anchorline Properties, who has done business in Boston, Burlington, Wellesley, and other surrounding communities, said, "Lowell is by far the most business-friendly municipality he's dealt with. Go Lowell." Moving on to manufactured homes as promised, after months of discussions and hearings, the city finally adopted a new ordinance putting restrictions on manufactured homes. This whole issue is very confusing, and I'm not sure I understand it entirely, but I'll share with you what I do know. A few months ago, Mayor Kennedy noticed a home he believed to be a trailer or mobile home on Varnum Ave. He had the city look into it to see if it needed to be removed, as mobile homes or trailers aren't allowed in that section of Lowell. The building commissioner came back with a report saying it was not a trailer or a mobile home, but a modular home that complied with both local and state regulations and therefore need not be taken down. The Pawtucketville Citizens Council disagreed with the building commissioner and wanted the structure removed.
Bon voyage.
At the last planning board meeting, the board voted to send an ordinance backed by the PCC for the city council to vote on. The council voted 9-0 in favor of the ordinance backed by the PCC against the recommendation of town staff, including the law department and the developmental services department. It was
a slow motion night.
Only 3 motions were presented and all 3 passed. Councilor Leahy requested the city manager have inspectional services review permitting fees to ensure they are comparable to surrounding communities. Councilor Leary requested a report outlining the results of the new firearms licensing policy. The report should include the number of license to carry requests and the number that were approved. And finally, Councilor Leary requested the city manager review the vacant property between 110 and 119 Chelmsford Street for trash pickup and maintenance. I hope you tune in next time for another recap. Thanks.
There are a lot of exciting things going on in our city. It really is helpful to have the long meeting summed up in a few minutes. Thanks for the report, Brian. For a preview of everything going on around town, we have partnered with the Greater Merrimack Valley Convention and Visitors Bureau for a regular segment called Let's Go. We join the Bureau's director, Deb Belanger, in downtown Lowell. Take it away, Deb.
Good afternoon and welcome to Let's Go with the Greater Merrimack Valley Convention and Visitors Bureau. I'm Deb Belanger and I'm a lifelong resident of the city of Lowell. I've had the pleasure of heading up the Convention and Visitors Bureau for the last 17 years. Our mission is to bring visitors, conventions, sporting events, and special events to the city of Lowell and the Greater Merrimack Valley. I have a passion for my job and I have a passion for tourism, and I'm very fortunate that I absolutely love what I do. And I'm here today to share some of the great events that we have in the city of Lowell and the surrounding area. Today, I'm standing here at Kerouac Park, home to one of Lowell's literary legends, Jack Kerouac. It's a great place to relax, read a book, enjoy a picnic, and reflect on life in general. You can see some of the granite stones behind me with excerpts from some of Jack's great writing. But let me tell you, it's a perfect place to enjoy. But in September, when we're basking in the final days of summer, you don't want to miss the Lowell Food and Wine Festival. The dates are September 8th through September 10th. But on Friday, September 9th, we will be here right in this park from 6 o'clock to 9:30, and it is going to be a food truck madness night. We're going to have 10 different food trucks. Some will be Mediterranean. We might have a little French cuisine with poutines, Southeast Asian food, artist tables with things you can purchase, and lots of good music. But that's just the start of the event. On Saturday, there will be more food tastings and chef cook-offs and other things throughout downtown Lowell. And of course, we end the weekend with a big community dinner. So for more information on everything to see during the Lowell Food and Wine Festival, come check out merrimackvalley.org. Again, that's merrimackvalley.org.
The festival should definitely not be missed. We at LTCN hope to see you all there. Thanks for the report, Deb, and make sure you stay tuned every week to catch another segment of Let's Go. Today, I have with us the two owners of the Kamai Post, Sobin Pin and Roger Pin. Sobin and Roger, how are you today?
I'm good, and thank you for having us here.
Definitely, thank you for making it. Now, the Kamai Post is a bi-weekly newspaper done in the Kamai language that sort of spans the entire East Coast. I'm wondering if you could sort of give our viewers a little bit of a sort of a recent history of Cambodia and sort of talk a little bit about the political situation going on.
Yeah, Cambodia should be a nice democratic country after 1993 when the United Nations came to have a general election, and 18 countries signed to get a peace in Cambodia. And from that point, everybody expect the hope that this country become a new country and democratic country, develop, and people will be happy. But the situation turned to be on that 1993, just after the election, a new party come up, and the political group decide not to have a result of the United Nations, but they said that to avoid the war, they decide to have a peaceful arrangement, and two prime ministers come up. One is come from the king of Sihanouk, and one party coming from the Communist Party, that they fight each other. And after 1993, the peace come up just a little bit. And from that point, the prime minister coming from the Communist Party tried to steal the power day by day, and until now, he continued to steal the power. The thing is, he cannot take it yet because the United Nations is there. They signed an agreement together saying that you have to respect some rule, the democratic rule, but that rule right now is controlled by the former Communist Party. Hun Sen is there, and he arrests the people, he do everything he wants, and situation right now is not very good.
So currently the prime minister that came from the Communist Party is in power right now, and there's human rights abuses that come out. The sort of the idea of democratic rule is not really being respected. How does that affect the Cambodian population here?
It's affect greatly. People escape from Cambodia to America because of the genocide, and that's part of genocide. The regime which our current prime minister was part of in the past. So people are still hurt by it.
If I may, just to clarify, so the current prime minister was a part of the Khmer Rouge.
Yes.
Yes. Now, is that are there other positions in government where you have former Khmer Rouge members as sort of part of the ruling party right now?
Yeah. So most of them are coming from that side of the regime, that made the Communist Party. Let's see. President of the National Assembly, President of Senate, and most of the ministers are coming from there.
And there was even recently a pro-democracy activist who was murdered, I believe, in early July. Is this something that sort of is commonplace in Cambodia?
Yeah, people want to express because they are protected by United Nations, but the killing is there. When you talk and you take a risk, you risk your life. So the guy is a prominent analyst of the situation. I take benefit from his analysis, but right now he's not there because just one day when we left Cambodia to Vietnam, behind me, a killing there, and we really was surprised. Yeah. It was a big shock. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that the Khmer Post is doing its best to really keep on top of all those different events and to keep both people in Cambodia and here in the United States informed about the political situation there. I want to give a big thank you to both Roger and Sobin for coming in from the Khmer Post. Again, they are co-owners of the publication. Everybody here, and I think the Lowell population in general, really appreciates the work that you're doing to keep the Cambodian population and the population at large informed about what's going on in Cambodia.
It's our pleasure. Thank you for having us.
Definitely. Thank you. Because the political and economic situation in Cambodia is so complicated, we have taped a longer, more in-depth interview with Roger and Sobin, which you can see on our schedule. It will be airing on Channel 8. Thank you for joining us at LTCN, and my name is Al Gentili. Be well.